What's going on, traders? Happy Thursday. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in. But as usual, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know exactly how my trading went. So let's jump right into it. And as you guys can tell from the thumbnail right today, I had a huge red day. So down $768 on ticker symbol SQQQ. So that was the only thing I traded. And just, based off how the market looked today, it's no surprise why I did so poorly focusing only on the inverse ETF, right? The market absolutely rallied after this nice little drop we did have, right at market open. It was a small drop compared to the movement that we did see, right? And the market absolutely rallied from that point on, and I got absolutely wrecked. I made so many mistakes, and, the same way I like to share my green days, I am going to have to accept to learn to love sharing my red days, right? Because there's a lot to learn from them, and as long as I actually learn from it, and hopefully you guys can learn from it as well, then I think it was, we're taking something good out of the bad, right? So, but you guys can see, these are all my filled orders, right? I started trading at market open, right at 6:30, and just from that point on, I was only focusing on SQQQ, right? And I got absolutely wrecked. So, as far as what my mindset was going into today's market, right? I knew that we were selling off the past few days, right? Anytime we would approach the top VWAP, we would experience some form of rejection and pull on back, right? We would approach the top VWAP, pull on back. Then, as you guys can see, even heading into yesterday, we approached the top VWAP and then started to sell off all throughout the day, right? And so I was able to make money, pretty much on SQQQ, majority of it, right, all week. And so it was nice being able to get into the inverse ETF, right? But what actually ended up happening? So I saw that pre-market, we ended up gapping back up to top VWAP, right? To retest it as a resistance level, validated it as a resistance level. And so heading into market open, right? Once I saw that we were selling off and we did break the previous support we had, right? I thought that was a really good sign that we were going to continue to sell off. And so I was just too, focused on making sure I got into SQQQ if the market did drop, rather than taking a look at the bigger picture, right? And being real with myself and realizing that it didn't necessarily have to play out exactly how I expected, right? Once we broke below this support, I thought we were going to continue to sell off the same way we did here, right? So last time when we did experience a resistance area, right, we pulled on back below EMA, and then the EMA, right, the blue line, started to act as a resistance, right? And it would get rejected off it and it continued to sell off, right? So as you guys can see, right, we pulled on back, consolidated, then sold off again. And so once I saw us pull on back and we were consolidating and it was testing the top VWAP as a rejection during the pre-market area, right, I thought that was a pretty good sign that we could potentially do what we did here, right? Right around this area and break support and make a new low. Right, that's exactly what I was betting on here. So I thought we were going to continue to sell off and have a nice potential little drop here, right? And so because of that mindset, right, that plan that I had in mind, I was just so, one-sided, right? And that's a huge, huge mistake I made today that cost me everything I made, right? All week that I worked so hard to make, gone, right? Because of one stupid day where, I pretty much wasn't able to manage my risk. And so it's all my fault, right? I have no one to blame but myself. And, it's just something unacceptable. And it's pretty much, just more of a beginner mistake. And, the fact that I'm even still making it just shows that I still have a long way to go in my trading journey, right? But it's a mistake that I feel like a lot of people could probably relate to. And, just bag holding something, trying to predict where the reversal is going to happen, and it never ends up actually happening, right? So I need to learn to manage my risk and call it a day when I'm down a certain dollar amount, right? I told myself I would want to give up about $300 max today. Obviously, I didn't follow with that plan, right? I over doubled what I was supposed to, and if I just managed my risk and accepted that today, right, my plan just didn't go according to plan, I could still be up on the week, right? I had a decent week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so the fact that I gave that all back and I'm ending red, it just really sucks, right? But, I put myself in this position. So, I'm not going to whine about it too much. But, I just wanted to explain with you guys my thought process, right? I thought we were going to potentially dip the way we did here. And that's not what ended up happening, right? It didn't have to happen. And I had to respect that we were finding, potential support around this area. And, it's done it plenty of times where we'll pull on back and find a support, pull on back, find a support, right? So if we pulled on back, there was a chance we could potentially find a double bottom here, right? And find a support. And I was just too ignorant today, right? So as this thing continued to push up, I would try, sizing up heavy, trying to predict exactly where the top was, right? That's another big mistake, just trying to predict exactly, where the top is so I can time it perfectly. And then I would get wrecked, right? It would change direction, I'd lose it all, get back in, end up losing it all, right? And so I just kept digging myself in a huge hole. Every time it would start to sell off, I would think this is it. I would size back up heavy only for it to continue to ride the EMA and form these higher highs and higher lows. And so, I should have been real with myself and respected the fact that, on the bigger time frame, we were validating it as a support, right? This potential support area. And that as we did push up, right? Even if we do start to sell off, right? The next few trading days, right? Starting on Monday, even if we do begin to sell off, right? It just goes to show that I had to understand that it could have potentially taken more than just today for this thing to finally sell off, right? Exactly how it did. This thing ended up taking so long on its way up, right? That by the time it started to finally consolidate, market closed. So there wasn't enough time left in the market, right? There wasn't going to be enough volume for this thing to start to pull on back. And I should have respected that, yet I didn't, right? If I was just real with myself, once I saw this thing validated as a support and it broke above this resistance, right? Once I saw that, and if I did a good job of managing my risk on the way up, I could have gotten into TQQQ, ridden this stuff up, right? And I could have ended green on the day. And that would have been a really nice end to my week. But instead, right, I was trading so ignorant. And so I ended up getting burned. And I hope I learned my lesson, right? I hope I don't repeat this in the future. But anyways, I hope you guys, found this video informative. It's always important to try to learn from a big loss. And so I hope, you guys seeing me take this big of a hit, somehow educates you in any way. But thank you guys so much for your time. I hope you guys all had an amazing rest of your trading week. If you guys have any questions at all, go ahead and drop a comment down below, and I will be more than happy to answer that. But otherwise, my brother will be posting a video recap on Monday for his trading. So we'll see you guys then. Take care and have a good rest of your weekend.